Good day everyone, I am Danica Pitavieros. So now I will be discussing about handwriting analysis. Handwriting analysis falls into the question document section of forensic science. These documents are examined by expert question documents examiners. Question document examiners look for forgeries and alterations and make comparisons if there is an original sample of handwriting available. Handwriting analysis involves a comprehensive comparative analysis between a question document and known handwriting of a suspect writer. Specific habits, characteristics, and individualities of both the question document and the known specimen are examined for similarities and differences. Next, handwriting is an individual characteristic. This means that handwriting is unique for each person. Each person has their own style. Handwriting analysts say that people could have a few writing characteristics that are the same, but the likelihood of having any that is impossible. The similarity in handwriting would be due to the style characteristics that we were taught when we were learning handwriting in school out of a book. Thus, handwriting is as unique as a fingerprint. Next is the factors that influence handwriting. So first that can influence handwriting is mechanical factors such as the writing instrument, the quality of the paper, the writing surface, the position of the writer when writing. It's either standing, sitting, or trying to write under adverse conditions, poor lighting, and other unsatisfactory conditions. Second, that can influence handwriting is the time span. The child's handwriting changes dramatically upon reaching adolescence. Adults continue to gradually change their handwriting over the course of his life. The elderly's handwriting skill may decline due to impaired coordination and loss of muscle control. The third one is health, such as illness and injuries, medication, substance abuse, physical handicaps, severe stress, and long-term debilitating illness. Fourth, that can influence handwriting is the blindness. Having poor eyesight can interfere with one's handwriting ability. Fifth is mental health. Mental depression affects the handwriting but does not diminish or destroy the habitual characteristics. Sixth is drugs and medication. Undesirable side effects can distort handwriting. Seventh, alcohol and drug abuse. Alcohol reduces inhibitions, causing larger, more rapid and slurred handwriting. 8 is the accidental strokes. It can also influence handwriting because aberrations that occur as the result of a transitory incident, such as someone bumping the writer's arm or a cramp on the table under the writing paper. 9th is the guided hand. Occurs when the writer gets support from another person when attempting to write. Rare and usually involves the infirm. So the last is the tremor in handwriting. Involuntary, rhythmic, and recurrent movement of the pen from side to side. Instant changes from the desired direction of the pen lines. Attributed to nervous impulses affecting the muscles, indicating loss of control of the pen. Next is the handwriting examination. Handwriting examination is an important aspect of forensic document examination due to the prevalent and integral role played by handwriting in everyday communication. Handwriting examination also usually entails comparing known specimens to handwriting evidence discovered on disputed or questioned documents. The purpose of this examination is to identify the author of the writing on a questioned document, detect forged signatures, and determine whether a common author produced a series of documents. Next is the general characteristics of handwriting form. Number one is the line quality. The skill of the writing flowing letters and words, defined as the overall character of the written strokes from the initial to the terminal. Line quality is the thickness, strength, and flow of the letters. Some factors are if the letters are flowing, shaky, or very thick. Number two is the word and letter spacing. The average amount of the space placed between the words and the formations of the letters. The space between words, however, signifies something different. Handwriting and graphology explains that wide space between words could mean you're emotionally distant, and words placed close together could mean you have a chaotic inner life and or need for closeness. Number three is the size consistency. Consistencies in the formations of letters as to the height, width, and size. According to the graphic, the size of someone's handwriting can determine the type of personality they have. People with small handwriting tend to be shy, studious, and meticulous, whereas outgoing people who love attention will have a larger handwriting. Number 4 is pen lifts, the manner in which one stops writing to form new letters or words. In technical terms, experts identify the pen lift as an event where the pen actual force reaches zero. Basically, it means the pen has been entirely lifted from the paper. The effect on paper is a break in a continuous line that represents part of all of a letter or sequence of letters. Number 5 is the connecting strokes. Connecting capital letters to lowercase letters, connecting strokes within letter and words, or etc. Connecting strokes is similar to pen lifts and separations. This analyzes whether or not the capital letters are connected to lowercase letters and if words are connected. Number 6 is beginning and ending strokes. When one begins a letter formation or numbers and where the stroke ends as to location. Beginning and ending strokes looks at how the writer begins and ends their words. Do they end with a curl, end on a upstroke or a downstroke? Unusual letter formation takes note of any peculiar, unique capital or lowercase letters. 7 is unusual letter formation. The formation of unusual letters such as backwards ends, capital letters, or etc. Unusual letter formation takes note of any peculiar, unique capital or lowercase letters. Does the writer add any extra curls or loops where the average author would not? Number 8 is shading, also known as pen pressure. How much pressure and ink width is placed on upward and downward strokes. Shading analyzes where the writer presses their writing utensil down the most, either on the upstroke or the downstroke. Where the most pressure is applied is where the script is thickest. Slant looks at which way the letters tend to slant, either to the left, right, or no slant at all. Number 9 is the slant. Whether writing slants to the right, left, straight, up, or down, or a combination of these. The degree of slant that exists using protractor measurement may be made. If your handwriting slants to the left, experts suggest you may like to keep to yourself, usually preferring to work alone or behind the scenes. Handwriting that slants to the right tends to be that of a sociable person who loves meeting people and is open to new experiences. You may enjoy listening to feedback and you can be overly reactive. Number 10 is the baseline habits. whether the writer writes along a straight line or writes with a downward slope, upward slope, bend in the middle, or etc. Baseline habits is where the writer tends to write. It could be above the line, below the line, or on the line. Number 11 is flourishes and embellishments. Fancy writing habits, curls, or loops, also characteristics meanings of letter formations, such as double loops, triple loops, straight lines, or etc. Flourishments and embellishments are large loops and swirls in handwriting. The most common flourishment is on letters such as lowercase g, j, and f, anything that involves a loop. Number 12 is diacritic placement, crossing of t's, dotting of i's, and other punctuation marks. Where are the crosses on t's and dots on i's? Are the t's cross? Is the cross on the t at the top, middle, or bottom of the letter? Are the i's dotted? If so, are they dotted to the left, the center, or the right of the I? Next is the classes and types of handwriting. First is the cursive writing. Writing in which the letters are for the most part joined together. In fact, learning to write in cursive is shown to improve brain development in the areas of thinking, language, and working memory. Next is the hand lettering. Refers to writing characterized by a disconnected style. Next is the natural writing, a specimen of writing that is executed normally and without any attempt of altering its usual writing habits. Next is disguised writing, a specimen of writing executed deliberately with an attempt of changing its usual writing habits in the hope of hiding one's identity. Disguised writing is intended to defy attempts at identification. The writer makes an effort to conceal his own usual writing habits and to make the new writing as much as possible unlike his own writing. And lastly, the guided or assisted writing, a specimen of writing executed while the writer's hand is steadied, usually employed by beginners in writing. So that's all. I hope you learned something about handwriting analysis. Thank you.